The Witch of the Baobab Tree. In a small village on the edge of the Kalahari Desert, there stood a giant baobab tree, so old that it was said to have been there since the beginning of time. The villagers revered the tree, believing it to be the home of ancient spirits who watched over them. They would leave offerings at its base, and no one dared to harm the tree, for it was said that to do so would bring terrible misfortune. One year, a severe drought struck the village. The rains stopped, and the land became barren. The villagers prayed to the spirits of the baobab tree, but no relief came. Desperate, they turned to a young man named Mbali, who claimed to have the power to communicate with the spirits. He told the villagers that the spirits were angry because someone had broken the sacred taboo and climbed the tree. This was a grave accusation, for everyone in the village knew that to climb the baobab was to invite death. But Mbali insisted that someone had done so, and the spirits would not bring rain until the culprit was found and punished. The villagers were terrified, but no one confessed. As the drought worsened, the village elders decided to conduct a ritual to appease the spirits. They gathered around the baobab tree at dusk, bringing with them the finest food, drink, and trinkets. Mbali led the ceremony, chanting incantations to call upon the spirits. As night fell, the tree's massive branches seemed to stretch out like the arms of a giant, and a cold wind began to blow. Suddenly, a low, mournful wail echoed through the village. The villagers froze in fear as a figure appeared at the top of the baobab tree. It was an old woman, her skin as dark and cracked as the bark of the tree, and her eyes glowing like embers. She was the witch of the baobab, a spirit that had long been forgotten by the villagers but had now returned to claim what was hers. The witch spoke in a voice that rumbled like thunder. "You have forgotten your promises, neglected your offerings. For years I have watched as you took from the land without giving back. Now you shall pay the price." The villagers fell to their knees, begging for forgiveness, but the witch was unmoved. She raised her hands, and the ground began to shake. Cracks appeared in the earth, and the villagers screamed as the land opened up, swallowing their homes and fields. The baobab tree groaned and creaked, its branches whipping in the wind like the fingers of an enraged giant. As the village was consumed by the earth, the witch let out a cackling laugh that echoed through the night. The tree stood tall and unscathed, a silent witness to the destruction below. When the dawn broke, the village was gone, replaced by a barren wasteland. The only thing that remained was the baobab tree, its roots deeply embedded in the cursed earth. Some say that on certain nights, when the wind howls through the desert, you can still hear the witch's laughter, a reminder of the price paid for neglecting the spirits of the land. And so, the legend of the witch of the baobab tree lived on, a cautionary tale for those who would forget the power of the ancient spirits and the wrath they could unleash on those who dared to defy them.